reach a feature preacher sing. Darkness in my dreams, smoke screen serenade. Bad man just don't play, feeling forever strained, heartstrings all in fray. Stone cold renegade, a stone cold renegade, stone cold renegade, blood stained in the shade.
There's a man they call Big Daddy, a legend in these parts. He rides through the darkness, fire burning in his heart. With his words like bullets, he brings justice to the night. He's a true gangster of love, fighting for what's right. People say he's a bandit, the most wanted in the land. But they don't know the story, they don't understand. His words are pure truth, they cut through like a knife. Big Daddy's got the power to change the wrongs to right.
A stone cold renegade, blood stained in the shade.
Why, yeah. Welcome to the show, baby. All right. It's about that time. Yes. It's time to fire one up and rip the mic and rant and rave like we always do about this time. All right. Those unfamiliar with the show, I am Big Daddy. I am one man. I rip the mic. We talk about everything and nothing all at once. No subject is taboo or off the table. The most politically incorrect man in the world. Yeah, I've lost a couple of YouTube channels throughout the years doing this shit. I'll tell you how based I am. Yeah, we're just sipping on a little wine, hanging out. I hear my dog barking at something. He is a very vigilant watchdog. Yeah, he's really come into his own. He just turned 3 years old this year. That's usually when those Australian cattle dogs pretty much fully mature mentally, physically. They're a little bit late bloomers. They live a long time, though. I think the oldest living recorded dog is an Australian cattle dog. Lived to the age of 29. Yeah, we're out here on a walk a little while ago, and I was just lost in thought, sipping my coffee and running scenarios in my head, thinking about various action scenes. I like to think about my comic whenever I go on these little walks, these little shamanic trance walks. Anyway, I'm just sipping coffee, lost in my own little world. All of a sudden, I hear this stomping around, and I hear the dog. And I look up and I see a big old fucking cloud of dust in the air. I'm like, what the hell? And I look, and for a split second, I think that it's a fucking moose. I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's not a moose. That's a fucking elk. And my dog is sitting there nipping at his fucking ankles, and the elk is like stomping at him, trying to kick at him and shit. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? He does that type of shit around cows. Yeah, I mean, that might be fine because he's a cattle dog, but this is a fucking elk. He might get his fucking head kicked in. So I try calling him back, and he comes back, and the elk fucking runs off. And I'm about 50 yards away, and I'm not that fucking far away from this motherfucker. And elk are very, very, like, sensitive creatures. Like normally they don't allow humans or dogs for that matter to get that close to them. They'll know you're coming and they'll fucking get out of the area. Like I have no idea how the dog was able to fucking get up on the elk that fucking quickly, and I don't even know how I was evil. Or I guess it's because of the way the wind was blowing. Like elk have very very sensitive sensitive noses, and we were upwind of it basically. So there's no way it could have caught our scent. I'm thinking that was the only way we could have got that fucking close to that motherfucker. Had I fucking been holding a rifle on me at the time, I could have easily killed that sumbitch. Yeah, I know I don't have a fucking elk license or whatever, but technically, if it had to go to court, if they did fucking catch me, I would fight it and I would win. Because there has been a couple of precedences set in these American courts, and it has to do with the Constitution. You see, the Constitution supersedes all federal and state laws, all of them. And if you try to put a license on something that is typically considered a liberty, aka hunting, why that should get thrown out of court because it's unconstitutional. And it has before. People who have fought it, they have won because technically it is unconstitutional. You can't put a license on something that is considered a liberty. And that's what they do, the hunting license, the whole concept of it. If a man is hungry and he's starving to death and he needs to fucking hunt, but he can't because he doesn't have a license, well, then you are depriving that man of his liberty. Hell, you are depriving him of life, possibly. That's right there in the Constitution, too. And his pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yeah, it's unconstitutional, putting licenses on that type of shit. Speaking of my dog, I hear him scratching at the door. Hold on. I'm gonna let that little son of a bitch in. He's a good boy. Hey, you want to come in? Come in. Come in. He's a good boy. He's got this little spot he chills under the bed. Yeah, for being a cattle dog, he used to actually be scared of cows. We'd have these herds of cows roll through and he'd get fucking scared and run and hide. He doesn't do that anymore. Now, I've got this motherfucker trained. Like I'll see like a little cow wandering off, a little calf. It's off by itself. I'll fucking order the dog, go round him up and put him back with the herd. Like, go chase that cow. So he'll go fucking chase the cow and lead it back to its herd. And then he comes back and he's a good boy. Yeah, in Australia, those types of dogs are very, very valuable. Those cattle dogs. One well-trained cattle dog could basically do the job of 30 cowboys. That's how fucking valuable they are. Some of those cattle dog pups could go for like $30,000 or more. Yeah, he would be a very, very valuable dog in Australia. A good stud. The metaphorical Bentley dog of his time. He does have a Bentley mark, only it's black. A little black diamond right in the middle of his forehead. Yeah, at first I was kind of worried that if somebody tried to break in, if like I had a bunch of intruders try to fucking take over the property, some sort of like a siege, and I had armed intruders come in, I was kind of worried at first that he wouldn't be able to fucking step up to the task like my old girl dog would. Like my old girl dog, I knew without hesitation she would like lay down her life to defend her master. My boy dog, I was a little bit on the fence on, but now I'm pretty sure this little motherfucker would lay down his life to defend his master. Yeah, he don't like anybody even coming in the fucking yard, even humans that I'm on good terms with. If they try to enter into the little yard area, he'll start growling at him. He's not very well socialized. He'd be the perfect junkyard dog. Yeah, I got a feeling that even if some sort of a cryptid, a Bigfoot, hell, even a dog man itself, If one of these fucking creatures tried to come and that my dog, I have little doubt he would fucking stand between me and the cryptid, and he would lay down his life to defend his master. It's a good feeling to know that you got somebody like that in your corner that'll lay down their life to defend you. That's when you know you got a true friend right there. And that's why they call them man's best friend. Very few humans will do that. Like jump in front of a fucking bullet for you, jump in front of a dog man for you. A dog will do that. Well, some dogs will. I've seen these various videos on the various social medias, YouTube and whatnot, of the masters testing the dog's loyalty. They'll have like a can of really, really good dog food, and they'll open it up and they'll put the can out in the dog food's dish. And then right after they do that, the whole thing is staged. They'll have some of their friends like break in wearing ski masks, and then they start attacking the master. And the master does this just to test the dog's loyalty, whether or not he's more loyal to the food or the master. And a lot of these dogs will sit there and start eating the food as the master is getting attacked. It's like, fuck. That's a bad dog right there. I would never want a dog like that. A food dog. A dog that's more loyal to food than its fucking master. I've seen dogs like that. My dog is not a food dog. Yeah, I know this. This little motherfucker, like literally, the better the food you put into his fucking dish, the more likely it is he's not gonna fucking eat the shit. Like, I don't know what he does. Like I want to feed him good chicken eggs, like scramble a couple of eggs, feed it to him, feed him a raw egg or whatever. But nope. If I do that, literally that food dish will sit there for 2 days straight and he will not touch it. But what he will try to do is bury the food. He'll try to like take a sweater or a plastic bag or something like and use his nose to try to bury the food. And it's all instinctive. Like these cattle dogs, what they used to do, or it's basically enground into their DNA to do this type of shit. Like they're supposed to round up cattle for like hundreds of thousands of square miles. And while doing this, they would make strategic kills, little rabbits, little rodents, this, and that. And then they would bury them in the ground. And then while in the middle of doing all of their work, rounding up cows, they would remember where they made these kills and buried their food. And whenever they get hungry, they do dig up their old meals and eat them and shit. So basically it's all instinctive. But he doesn't understand. He's not a real cattle dog out there rousting up cattle. He's just a regular old companion dog. He does have work, though. He protects the chickens, protects the property. Yeah, he's got a little bit too hardcore cattle dog instincts. But I know he's not a food dog for sure. Like he's more loyal to his master than he is for food. I know that. And he's also a little weird about his food. Like he will not eat his food unless I scrape a little bit of my own food on top. But it can't be too much. It basically has got to be about a spoonful. If I scrape about a spoonful of my own food on top of his dog food, then he'll eat it. Until that happens, he doesn't even consider it a real meal. He won't even touch it then. His favorite is lard. Put a little dollop of lard on the food, boy, he'll fucking eat all that shit up. I guess it is a natural thing that occurs within an animal, so I can see why. The natural food of a dog is raw meat. If the dogs are roaming around in the wild, they're not going to cook their meat. They're just going to fucking eat that shit raw. Yeah, speaking of all that, talking about cows and whatnot. Yeah, I hear that they sacrifice the red heifer in secret over there in Israel. Yeah, you hear about that? Like, so? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? The red heifer prophecy? Yeah, it has to do with like end times prophecies. Supposedly, once a red heifer is found and sacrificed, then it'll usher in like the Antichrist or something. Some fucking crazy shit, basically. So for years in Israel, they've been trying to breed these special red heifers to get the perfect red heifer. And what they do is they look through every square inch of the cow to make sure that not even one hair is not red. Like, even if they find one hair that's not red, it's not considered a pure red heifer. But I guess they found one and they sacrificed it in secret, supposedly. Yeah, we talk a little conspiracy here from time to time, and that's what the conspiracy is. The red heifer has been found and it has been sacrificed. I guess that means the Antichrist is here, or he's going to come, I guess. The third temple will be built. Yeah, supposedly they've taken the ashes of this heifer, and these ashes are capable of like curing cancer and lifting diseases and like making you young again, like doing all sorts of crazy miracles. Supposedly. Sounds like the sacred ashes of Andraste from the Dragon Age video games. Maybe that's where they got it. The whole thing could be a psyop. If anybody knows about psyops, it is the Mossad. Of all of the Five Eyes intelligence agencies, they're probably the most dialed in one. And I remember saying a long time ago, back when it first happened, that attack on October 7th, when Hamas attacked that concert or whatever that gave Israel the excuse to launch this war, I said a long time ago, how in the hell did Mossad not know this? How did they not know this attack was going to happen? The most advanced intelligence agency on the planet did not know that the terrorists were going to attack, really? I guess it's all came to light that yes, Mossad did know, and they allowed it to fucking happen. They purposefully pulled the IDF out of the area, allowed them to have the concert right there on that fucking border, and they basically served up their own people on a silver platter to get slaughtered, just so it'd give them the excuse they needed to launch a war, to go in there and basically commit a Holocaust against the Palestinian people. Yeah, no world leaders are really doing anything about it. I mean, you might hear a platitude here and there, but nobody's actually doing anything. Trump could step in and stop this shit if he truly wanted to, but he's fucking fully bought and paid for. Fully fucking owned. Yeah, you know he's fucking owned just by looking at the nature of how he treated the whole Epstein bullshit. Yeah, speaking of which, I guess another high-profile pedophile from Israel got busted, but then they let him go. I guess he was the AI chief. Like he was one of these bigwigs over there, like one of Netanyahu's right-hand men. And he got caught over there in Las Vegas in a sex sting. Yep. But what happened was the Trump Justice Department let the fucking guy go back to Israel. I'm surprised this isn't a bigger story. It's kind of a big deal. No, nobody gives a shit, I guess. They just swept the Epstein bullshit under the rug. They'll sweep this shit under the rug. If they did fucking do something and decide to indict him, they would have did it the same way they did with Epstein the first time around when they charged Epstein and gave him a little slap on the wrist, gave him a little bit of jail time. I think it was 8 months or something like that. And they basically gave him the Pablo Escobar treatment. They built him a special private little prison, and he only had to go in there at 10 a.m. at night. And then at 6 a.m. in the morning, he could leave it. And he could go do whatever he wanted during the day. And that was his quote-unquote prison sentence. What they basically did was built him his own private fucking hotel that he just went to go sleep in during the nighttime. He got to do whatever he wanted during the day. That was his quote-unquote punishment the first time around. Yeah, that motherfucker's still alive, I'm telling you. Fucking P. Diddy got caught with all that shit, and then Comey's daughter orchestrated the fucking... They basically threw the case where they let him go. It was kind of like the plot to that movie Sleepers. Yeah. Boy, speaking of scumbags, I think the Democrats are going to run Gavin Newsom. That's what it's looking like. Looks like they're doing a hard push for Gavin Newsom. I don't know why. Well, I remember back in the day, the George W. Bush election over 20 years ago. Back when George W. Bush ran, he had to run on a record. He had to show the record of the state of Texas. Hey, I was the governor of the state of Texas, and look at all the accomplishments I did. And he had to run on a record. And then something happened. After Barack Hussein Obama, like no longer did the presidential nominees have to have a quote unquote record, because Barack Hussein Obama had no record. He was like a freshman senator in there for like less than 200 days. Like that is no record. And that set the precedence right there. Barack Hussein Obama. Right after that, Trump got in there, a guy who wasn't even a real politician. Fucking completely bought and paid for by Israel. Yeah, America is nothing more than a vassal state to Israel right now. Kind of fucking sad. Yeah, but it looks like they're going to try to run Gavin fucking Newsom. Now, just imagine if Gavin Newsom had to run on his record. Look at the record of the state of California. What have you done to the state of California to make all of America think that you are worthy enough to run this country? Well, fuck. If you were to actually look at what that motherfucker has done to California, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I mean, you really want that extrapolated out nationwide? I mean, how many millions of homeless people are there? And how many billions of dollars do they spend to try to fucking fix the problem? It's so fucking expensive, you can't even afford to live there. The cartel basically took over the fucking drug trade. There are certain areas where the cartel is so embedded, the police can't even go there or else they'll be shot on sight. Yeah, California is so fucked. Yeah, and you want to have that become the blueprint for the fucking nation. Jesus fucking Christ. The worst part is, like, if they did decide to run that motherfucker, I bet he'd win. And they wouldn't even have to do any sort of election tampering. They would probably willingly vote for the motherfucker. Yeah, whatever happened to running on a record? Fuck, we need to bring that back. Because you know the next Democrat nominee is not going to be running on any sort of fucking record. You look at Kamala Harris. What was her fucking record? Oh, she's very experienced in sucking dick and drinking wine. Well, yeah, so is every fucking other worthless whore in the fucking country. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, women. Got to repeal the 19th. That's all there is to it. Yeah, Trump. Well, like I've said, I don't even know if that motherfucker even is still around for sure. I think they might have replaced him with body doubles and AI. He doesn't look too good. I remember here just not too long ago, I saw a video of him walking. He was just so healthy and robust and virile while he was walking. Like, that is not Trump. That looks like a fucking healthy 40-year-old man walking there. And then you see video of him walking here recently at that peace summit. The motherfucker can't even walk in a straight line anymore. He's just kind of staggering around. I hear his ankles are all swollen up. You see a close-up of his hand. He's got like different colored patches of skin on his hand. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it can't be good. He's not golfing like he used to. He used to golf almost every day. Not anymore. He could barely fucking move around. Yeah, I think this all started once Trump threw Elon Musk under the bus. Once Trump threw Elon Musk under the bus, and then shortly after that, he threw all of his supporters under the bus over Epstein. After that, all of his divine protection was stripped from him. And like that, he became at the mercy of the Reddit witches and their curses. Yeah, you remember all of those Reddit witches trying to curse Trump, but they say that their curses don't work against him because he has, quote unquote, some sort of protection about him. Not anymore, he doesn't. Trump's divine protection has been stripped from him. And this is the reason why he's become so crippled and debilitated, why he's starting to fall apart. Now he's talking about dying. He's wondering if he's going to get into heaven or not. You fucked up, Trump. You shouldn't have thrown Elon Musk under the bus, and you should not have thrown your fucking supporters under the bus over Epstein. Should have fucking been square with us. Trying to fucking pretend like that shit wasn't a big deal. Had that fucking stupid blonde whore come out and try to say, oh, we don't know if he was working with the CIA. Whoa, you fucking lying fucking whore. Oh, I would have slapped her right across the face right then and there if I was Trump standing next to her saying that shit. Like, bitch, you're fired. And then I fucking hire Tom Fitton or somebody else. Somebody worthy that'll get in there and actually fucking do the job. Hiring a stupid, retarded, blonde cunt. This is where he fucking went wrong. Jeff Sessions almost would have been a better fucking attorney general. That's insulting my fucking intelligence. Trying to tell me that Epstein wasn't working with intelligence. If it wasn't CIA, it was Mossad. It was one of them. Like, you're telling me this fucking guy was allowed to operate the way he did and intelligence agencies didn't know about it? If they didn't know that this guy was operating this fucking operation, then it needs to be dismantled for dereliction of duty, because this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to keep tabs on people like this. You're supposed to stop them. Supposed to, being the key word there. Either way, this gives you the catalyst to dismantle these fucking intelligence agencies. Either A, for dereliction of duty, for allowing this guy to fly under the radar unimpeded, or B, facilitating him and having him be a part of the whole fucking apparatus. Yeah, the control apparatus. They use these fucking guys like Epstein and Diddy to compromise powerful individuals, and like that, the intelligence agencies control these individuals. Then you get them voting for these forever wars, voting for them to give billions of dollars to Israel and have anti-Semitism legislation, and it just fucking never fucking ends. Trans kids, it never fucking ends until somebody puts their fucking foot down. Yeah, good thing in America we still have some semblance of control because the American people still have fucking guns. Yeah, it could be worse. Could be like one of those fucking countries over there in Europe, Canada, or Australia. Yeah, we're going to need those guns because I hear that fucking Donald Trump is going to bring in 600,000 Chinese. Yes, 600,000 Chinese immigrants. That's a fucking army right there. Jesus fucking Christ. What are you thinking? You really think the CCP is just going to allow its best and brightest to come over here to America? No, they're all going to be agent provocateurs, communists, members of the fucking army. Yeah, there's not going to be all of their best and brightest. They're going to keep over there and turn them into slave labor. That's what they're going to fucking do. Not a good idea. When I hear about shit like that, that kind of makes me further believe that, yeah, maybe this motherfucker has been replaced with AI and body double. Or he's just not even really all there. They're drugging him, and they got somebody out there being his handler, you know, kind of like how Jared Kushner was the first time around. 600,000 Chinese. Fuck. All that's going to do is take away jobs from regular Americans. Yeah, I hear that they got like 55 million of these fucking immigrants here on visas. This is in addition to the 25 million illegal immigrants that they probably have here. I'm guessing it's more closer to 50 million, probably more. Yeah, when it's all said and done, I bet if you were to take all of the tally totals together, I bet we got about 100 fucking thousand immigrants here on this fucking country, both legal and illegal. On the visas, the ones that come from south of the border, the ones with expired visas, when you take them all together, all the ones that are not true American citizens, it's probably about 100,000. Probably more. No, 100 million. That's what I meant. 100 million. Probably more. About 55 million on visas, probably about another 50 million illegals, at least. Over 100 million immigrants, not real American citizens. How many regular Americans that we got when you take it all together? Like 300 million, 350 million, 400 million? That's basically a third of the fucking country is being occupied by a foreign power. Fuck. A third of our country under occupation. Something's got to be done about that. Got to uproot them, root and stem. Even the ones on the visas, that's way too many. That's taking jobs away from regular Americans. Fuck, no wonder why regular Americans can't find fucking jobs. When like a third of the fucking workforce, at least a third of it, has got some sort of an illegal immigrant or somebody on a visa taking that fucking job. Yeah, get rid of all of the fucking immigrants and you watch the ship would just fucking right itself overnight. People will feel safe again, safe to start having families, start having children again. Don't got to worry about your family getting fucking killed in a goddamn car accident by a stupid fucking Indian trucker. Yeah, you hear about that one? Some fucking trucker from India, barely speak the fucking language, got given a certificate in California. And then somehow this trucker was over there on the East Coast, over there in Florida, trying to do an illegal U-turn on the fucking freeway and end up killing a family, killing fucking 3 people. Should not have been in the country. That job should have been an American's job. You're taking jobs from Americans. Fucking murdered a family. And they're talking about deporting him and shit. No, this motherfucker needs to spend some time behind bars. Judge gave me 25 to life. You fucking murdered 3 people. You would at least need to be in a fucking cell for 25 years, at least. And then after that, maybe you get some fucking parole. Maybe. Yeah, these goddamn illegal immigrants. They're really shitting the place up out there. Literally and figuratively. Yeah, they're raping all over the place too. They're raping and raping. These poor girls, they can't do nothing to defend themselves. And when they do try to defend themselves, why do the cops bust the girls? I swear to God. Yeah, this actually happened here recently. Over there in Scotland, like the rapings have been so prevalent that the young girls are taking it upon themselves to arm themselves, to protect themselves from these migrants. And since these countries are all cucked and nobody can carry guns, the little girls are carrying knives and axes. And there's this one little girl had to fend off this migrant rapist, like with holding a butcher knife and an axe in her hand, like channeling her inner Joan of Arc, trying to fight this fucking migrant invader. Aye. Yeah, so anyway, she uses the knife and the axe and staves off this migrant rapist. And it all got caught on camera and it went viral. And people were joking around too. Like, you watch, they're going to end up arresting this girl. And even I had joked around. I said, if that girl had ended up defending herself, she would have been arrested. Well, guess what they fucking did? They arrested the little girl. They fucking did. I swear to God. This is not satire. They actually arrested the little girl for defending herself from being raped. Yeah, we are officially living in clown world. We fucking are. Boy, I'm glad I'm an American. Yeah, that type of shit, it's starting to happen, though. In certain enclaves, certain leftist enclaves, it's starting to get real bad in some areas. For example, over there in the state of Michigan, I believe it's the city of Dearborn. What happened was they imported so many fucking Muslims to this city that the Muslims basically took over the city. They became the majority. And what these Muslims did, they elected a Muslim mayor. And then what this Muslim mayor continued to do was declare Sharia law. Yes, they declared Sharia law for the town of Dearborn. And then shortly after that, a man was arrested for a Facebook post. Yep, it's already fucking happening. Hopefully that motherfucker gets out. That's setting a bad precedence there. Trump just unleashed fucking, I think it was the National Guard, in addition to the police forces in the city of DC to clean up the streets of DC. What he needs to do is mobilize the Marines to go into the fucking city of Dearborn and liberate it from the Islamists. You cannot institute Sharia law on American soil. Are you fucking kidding me? What was the war on terror for? You fucking kidding me? We fought a fucking war on terror, and now we got Muslims taking over fucking towns, implementing Sharia law, and nobody's fucking doing anything about it. Send the fucking Marines in there, goddammit. Fuck. Do your goddamn job. Yo. Somebody in the chat, Nerdscape, welcome to the show. Yeah, weak men create hard times. All you gotta do is look at all the leaders over there in Europe. Weak men, one and all. Here in a few years, we might get Gavin fucking Newsom as the goddamn president. Fuck. That's basically the American version of Justin Trudeau is what that is. Next thing you know, they'll be passing all sorts of crazy legislation. They'll get rid of the air conditioners. That's making the global warming, and it's killing the polar bears and ice caps and blah, blah, blah. Like bullshit. Yeah, those Europeans like to talk a lot of shit about how Americans are dangerous because we got guns and how we shouldn't have guns. Yeah, you shouldn't have guns. Like, really? Really? Look at what happened to your countries. You don't have guns and you allowed yourselves to get taken over by invaders, facilitated by your own politicians. Yeah, sometimes guns can be a good thing. And ironically enough, that's the only reason that shit's in the Constitution. Just in case the government gets a little too tyrannical, the people can take it back. Can you motherfuckers take back your governments? No, you can't. Yeah, they're gonna fucking ban air conditioners, just like they did over there in Europe. And I heard an interesting statistic. You know that whenever they have those summers over there in Europe, that it kills thousands of fucking people every year. Heat waves. And there's nothing they can do about it because they don't have any air conditioning because of global warming. Now, when you take the amount of deaths caused by heat and you measure them up against the deaths caused by pew pew heat in America, gun deaths versus heat death, well, guess what? Heat kills more Europeans every year than guns do in America. Yep. And it's all because the politicians won't let their people have air conditioners. Air conditioners save lives. They really do. And so do guns. Yeah, just imagine if those poor Europeans and those people in the UK were actually allowed to be so free as Americans to where they can have both guns and air conditioning. Only in America. I guess they got to have air conditioning over there in Australia in some areas because it's really, really hot. But not in Europe, though. Yep, it's true. Heat kills more than guns. Yeah, they're having all these peace talks, trying to solve the Ukraine war. As long as that little puke Zelensky is alive, that war will never end. It really won't. They're going to have to do something about him. I already laid out the blueprint a long time ago. Hell, they could have did it again. He was here in Washington again recently. You get somebody about the same height. I picked Tom Cruise, a good actor. And you have one of those special Zelensky skin suits made. Then you just like that. Get rid of the real Zelensky and replace him with the body double. Then you have the body double sign the appropriate piece of chords and like that. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It's over. Yeah, Zelensky's making too much money. He thinks he's some sort of a hero. He's not going to fucking end that war. Funny part is, had he taken the original peace deal on the table years ago, why Ukraine still could have had those areas, the Crimea, the Donbass, all that shit. Nope, not anymore. They're going to lose those areas now. Yeah, America needs to formally withdraw from NATO. It's the only way. Without America there backing them up, NATO is basically a paper tiger. They ain't gonna fucking try to start shit with Russia, with America not in NATO, because America would be relied upon to do the bulk of the fighting. And with the specter of America not there, gonna step in and fuck shit up, they ain't gonna do nothing. And like that, the whole thing fucking falls apart. That's what I would do if I was Trump. End this fucking war. You have 2 weeks' time, and if it's not ended within 2 weeks, United States of America fully withdraws from NATO. And then we take steps to possibly withdraw from the United Nations next. And like that, European leaders are, oh shit, we got to fucking wrap this up. We can't have America withdraw from NATO because, well, basically America is NATO. We get all of our money from America. They'll be relied upon to do the bulk of the fighting. We need their technology, their weapons, their manpower. A better idea would be to just simply bring Russia into the fold and have them become a part of NATO. That would be the appropriate action. Never going to happen, though. Not while we have the current fucking people around. Maybe Trump could finagle it. I doubt it. Not this version of Trump. This version of Trump's kind of a cuck. If he's even real. And if he is, he's all old and decrepit and he's stripped of his divine protection. He's at the mercy of the Reddit witches and their curses. He's falling apart. His fucking hands are turning different colors. His ankles are swollen up. He can't even fucking play golf anymore. He's talking about whether or not he's going to get into heaven. He's fucking contemplating his death now. Yeah, if he fucking survives the next year or two, I'd be extremely surprised, let's put it that way. At least he got J.D. Vance waiting in the wings. Yeah, I think Elon Musk decided to not do that whole American party thing or whatever, and he's just going to stick it out with MAGA, but instead of being with Trump, he's going to be with J.D. Vance instead, and just kind of bide his time, wait until J.D. Vance comes up to be the heir apparent, and then just be there in his corner. I think that's what that's what he should do, at least. Yeah. They're raping all over the place. And these poor girls can't even fucking defend themselves. Savages. Fucking savages. Boy, speaking of savage behavior, there was some footage that went viral here on social media of Rampage's Jackson's son, Raja Jackson, almost beating a wrestler to death. Yeah, anybody doesn't know who Rampage Jackson is? He's this ex-MMA UFC fighter. And I think he was like in some minor movie roles. Anyway, Rampage Jackson has a son, Raja. And Raja has this Kick channel where he's streaming himself on the Kick platform. Anyway, I guess he got invited to some wrestling promotion. And this was ran by Rikishi, the Attitude Era Samoan with the giant ass, Rikishi. This was his particular wrestling promotion. I forget what it's called. There's all shitloads of wrestling promotions out there, little small indie ones. And this is just one of them. Well, anyway, I guess they were doing a work where one of these wrestlers by the name of Psycho Sid kind of like hits Rampage Jackson's son in the head with a beer can. that it was supposed to set up a storyline later on where Rampage Jackson's son gets in the ring and he's supposed to give him a receipt and hit him just once. And then after that, they were going to pull him off, and it was supposed to set up another storyline for a possible match. It was all for promotion, you know. Well, it turns out everybody was working except for Rampage Jackson's son. I don't think he understood the nature of what was going on, what's a work and what's not a work. Well, anyway, anybody who's ever read I Saw Him knows the one thing you don't do is disrespect a black man. Disrespect. This disrespect will not go unanswered. Well, anyway, Raja Jackson felt disrespected by this wrestler doing this work that was supposed to set up a storyline. So he tries to basically commit premeditated murder. You see him on his stream. He's still streaming the whole time. The whole thing, it took place backstage, and then the actual match happened. And he's streaming to himself that when the time comes, he's not going to just go and hit him once. He's just going to keep on hitting him and hitting him. He always wanted to beat up a wrestler. So what happened was he, for the perfect opportunity, when the wrestler had his back turned after he got done doing a move, he was kind of gassed, gets into the ring, and the wrestler did not see this coming. Grabs him from behind and gives him basically a modified version of an Alabama slam. And right after that, the guy was probably out because he hit the fucking mat so hard with the back of his head. And then Raja Jackson continued to fucking rock him with several fucking haymakers in the side of the head. Hit him about 20 fucking times until somebody fucking finally pulled him off. Yeah, I guess the guy, he's lucky he's a fucking live. I guess last time I heard was he just came out of, he was unconscious for the longest time. He basically came out of his little fucking mini coma, and he's got multiple fractures all over his face. Like, he's just so fucked up. He's probably never going to wrestle again. If he does, he's going to have to wear some sort of hardcore face masks to prevent his face from getting fucked up again. And it turns out this guy, he was an ex-veteran, and he suffers PTSD. And one of his ways of going through his PTSD bullshit is by wrestling. So basically, you've taken this away from them. The guy will probably never, ever be able to wrestle again. So now he's got to struggle with that PTSD in his own different ways now. He can't wrestle anymore. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Raja Jackson gets charged for something. Premeditated murder. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I guess he wasn't thinking about the consequences of his actions. The thought of the future was something that just completely was over his head. Couldn't think about that. I can understand. Believe it or not, black people, they think of time in a whole different concept than white people do. Normal people, they call it Africa time. This is a real fucking thing. This actually went viral here recently too. When Africa time was explained, it turns out the concept of time doesn't exist to Africans. It fucking doesn't. I'll explain. Hold on. I hear my dog scratching at the door. He wants out. Go out, boy. Good boy. Yes, Africa time. Turns out time doesn't exist in Africa the way we think it does. Like with us, we know that there's a past, a present, and a future. And a distant future, a distant past. In Africa, there really is no word for the distant future. Yeah, I'll explain. Like, there was once a white guy who was in Africa, and he was going somewhere, and he got onto a bus, and they were out there in the middle of bumfuck Egypt in some village, and he got in the bus, and he was just waiting around. And people started milling onto the bus, getting on, and he's just waiting and waiting, and several hours passed. And finally, he got up and went and asked the bus driver, hey, what time are we leaving? And the bus driver says, what do you mean, what time are we leaving? It's like, when is this bus leaving? What time? And the bus driver says, the bus leaves when it gets filled up. And that's basically Africa time in a fucking nutshell. Yeah, for years, hundreds of years, colonists, the white man, they'd come there to Africa and they would see the Africans just sitting under trees and they'd just be doing nothing, like eating fruit and just lounging around. And they ask, why are they wasting so much time? Why don't they do something? Like, what do you mean wasting time? They're like, the concept of time doesn't exist to them. Time only happens after it's been lived. Like, once something happens, then it becomes part of a rich, vibrant, robust past. And that, to the Africans, is all about the past. But the past only happens after the present happens. And they really have no concept of the future. This is the reason why they starve to death out there. Because the concept of putting seeds in the ground and planting your crops and then waiting a whole season for those crops to come to fruition is a concept they can't even fucking grasp. Like, there is these missionaries. For years, they would go to all of these various African villages and they would give them 10 cows and 1 bull. And every year they would come back, and without fail, all of the fucking livestock would be gone. What they would either do is butcher them all and eat them, or they would sell them. I think in all of the years of doing it, only one fucking village actually bred the cows and actually did something with it and actually made a fucking herd of cows. It just goes to show they don't have any concept of planning for the future. This is the reason why they get into so much trouble. They fucking will, for example, beat a man almost to death in the fucking wrestling ring and then just not even think about what's going to happen afterwards. Like, you might end up going to jail for the rest of your life for attempted murder, you stupid bastard. That thought never even crossed his fucking mind. He was disrespected, and he's got to get his revenge for being disrespected. And rather than giving him a receipt like he should have, just maybe hit him once with like a good work punch to set up the storyline. No, he fucking tried to kill the guy, hit him over 20 times as hard as he could with haymakers to the side of the head to a defenseless guy who was probably out the moment he hit the mat. Yeah. Savages. What can you do? Savages, savages. Dirty, stinking heathen savages, savages, kill us to the core. Now we sound the drums of war. All right. You know, we're approaching the 1 hour mark. Maybe we'll take a little break. We'll come back and then maybe we'll rant and rave a little bit more. Like we always do about this time. All right, guys, we're going to take a little break. And then we're going to come back. And then we're going to rip the mic again for the next episode. I don't know what we're going to talk about. But we'll talk about something. All right, enjoy the tunes. We'll be back.
Well, I'm doing all right, I'm getting good in grades, the future's so bright that I gotta wear shades, Right brain, left brain, feeling all the rage, the future's so bright that I gotta wear shades, And I'm on the edge of glory, hanging on the moment of truth. I'm on the edge of glory. Tell me, bitch, what you gonna do? I'm on the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. I'm on the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. and so I can't hide. I wear my sunglasses at night. I wear my sunglasses at night. I wear my sunglasses at night. So I can I wear my sunglasses at night. I wear my sunglasses at night. So I can hide. And I wear my sunglasses at night. So I can hide. Crushing a Miss White, dancing with the devil in the dark. Daddy never take no crap. Daddy with the big dick slap. Daddy with the best in life. Crushing a Miss White, dancing with the devil in the day. Like day and night. Telling me now what is place tonight. Crushing a Miss White, leaving my soul of pain. Crushing a Miss White, dancing with the devil in the rain. Crushing a Miss White, feeling my soul a spark. Crushing a Miss White, dancing with the devil in the dark. Daddy never take no crap. Daddy with the big dick slap. Daddy with a pimp slap hand. Daddy be the back door man. Yo, what is best in life? Crush your enemies. What is best in life? Crush your enemies. Crush your enemies. What is best in life? Crush your enemies. See them bleed right before your eyes. Hear them scream. Please don't let me die. Lamentation of the women. Feminism is a sin. Lamentation of that women. I'm on the edge of glory, hanging on the moment of truth. I'm on the edge of glory. Tell me, bitch, what you gonna do? I'm on the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. I'm on the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. My, all I want is to drive real high. My, say it once and then I'll sing it twice. My, up the whip, it kind of feels really nice. My, all I want is to drive real high. And I whip my soul. glasses at night. So I can hide. I wear my sunglasses at night. I wear my sunglasses at night. Crushing a mist while dancing with the devil in the dark. Daddy never take no crap. Daddy with the big dick slap. Daddy with best in life. Crushing a mist while dancing with the devil in the day. Day and night. Telling me now what is place tonight. Crushing a mist while leaving my soul of pain. Crushing a mist while dancing with the devil in the rain. My mind. Crushing a mist while feeling my soul a spark. Crushing a mist while dancing with the devil in the dark. Daddy never take no crap. Daddy with the big dick slap. Daddy with a pimp slap hand. Daddy be the back door man. Yo, what is best in life? Crush your enemies. What is best in life? Crush your enemies. Crush your enemies. And we're back. Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey. Crushing enemies every day. Got Art Bell in the chat. Welcome. Yeah, normally we talk a little griftosphere related shit now. This portion of the stream. I haven't been paying too much attention to what's been going on over there. I know Dale Keown and Mandy Summers released The Pit. It wasn't an omnibus, no. It was, I think the first 4 issues, I guess. They're going to try to milk that shit for all it's worth. Grift maxing. Yes. Grift maxing. Rather than releasing the Pit omnibus years ago, like they should have, back when CG was thriving, Dale probably could have made himself $1 million. Because Pit is a more popular character than Cyberfrog. He was more of an iconic character during that time. So the precedence was set. Cyberfrog made $1 million. A character that's even more popular should make at least $1 million, if not more. We're going by their metrics, remember? These are their metrics. The same standard they hold for Ripperverse has to be held for them too. Yeah, years ago, back when CG was thriving, back when Dale first came on board, that would have been the time to release the Pit Omnibus. And then Dale could have did some original art between a half a dozen pages, maybe a dozen pages, maybe even a full floppy length. No, I don't know, he's a little too lazy. You might be lucky to get 6 pages of original art out of the motherfucker. But that, in addition to a couple of covers, then you got another who's who of variant covers from all your various CG King friends. You compile all of the issues into one omnibus with original artwork, original fucking covers. That thing probably would have made fucking $1 million. It probably would have. Not anymore. Nope. Now that CG is basically a movement of the dead. For every 5 people that leave, you might get 2 that join, if you're lucky. And the 2 that join will be of the caliber of Frog Tony and his ilk.
Yeah, Movement to the Dead, zombie comicscape. It's kind of like The Simpsons. Once The Simpsons, it's like, yeah, The Simpsons should have ended a long time ago. It's zombie Simpsons now. It's a fucking, basically a dead show, but they still got it going. It's the same thing with Comicscape, zombie Comicscape. It truly dies once Ethan dies. And we all know when that'll happen. It'll happen soon, and it'll be because of the jab. Guaranteed. It was designed that way after all. Hopefully not. Hopefully that doesn't get the stream struck. It's real fucking easy to get struck nowadays. Yeah, a lot of people talk about Comicsgate is dead, it's dead, blah, blah. No, it truly dies once Ethan dies. And it'll probably be before Rainbow Brute ships at this fucking rate. Yeah, the funny part is when they launched these Pit books, the first 4 volumes or whatever, a series of compiled trade paperbacks. That's what it is. Grift maxing. Yeah, the funny part is they're not taking the original files and doing anything like adding some more vibrant colors or anything. No, what they're doing is they're going to have to take old trade paperbacks, like they're going to have to get somewhere on eBay if they don't have them already laying around. Then they're going to have to take a razor and then cut those fucking pages out and then scan them in one by one. And then take those scans and then cobble together some sort of Frankenstein's abomination of a book and try to sell that to a bunch of CG simpletons. And that's currently what they're doing. It's a fucking disgrace of a campaign. It really is. I guess they're even taking artwork from a dead artist who's been dead for over a decade, and they're putting his art out there on a fucking cover. Didn't ask the estate's permission or nothing like that. They should have at least got a hold of the estate and said, hey, we'll give you a cut of the profits made from this cover in honor of old boy for doing fucking art or whatever. Like, no, nothing like that. Just kind of a low-class maneuver. Kind of low class. But then again, that's par for the course with Comicsgate. It's not like they have any class to begin with. No class, no morals, no fucking ethics, no virtue, except for when it comes to signaling. AAA grade pieces of human filth, one and all. Yeah, they don't have a very good reputation. Way back in the day, at Comicsgate, they used to fight the culture war, fight the mainstream. Now all they do is tear down other indie creators. Now that's all they do. Instead of focusing so much on Eric July and his comics, why don't you start shitting on Marvel and DC a little bit? No, they have nothing but praise for Marvel and DC. Did Ethan ever come out and make any videos about the Harley Quinn fart fetish comic? Probably not. What are you talking about, Big Daddy? I have a fart fetish. I love that stuff. Of course I'm not going to talk shit about it. Yeah. Stupid bastard. Hanging out with the comic book hut a little too much of those fucking baseball games. Watching too much fucking sports ball with the fucking hut. Soy. He's shown his true leftist colors, let's put it that way. Usurped a movement. Fucking turned it into his own little private fucking pay pig cult. Bunch of low IQ, dumb, cultist pay pigs. The most low IQ, most submissive, most betaist of beta males. You can't even call them beta males. They're mostly just gamma males. Mostly gammas with a smattering of betas here and there. Movement of the Dead. Yeah, that Pit campaign didn't make 100,000 in 24 hours. A campaign of that caliber, a property, an IP of that magnitude, not being able to clear 100K in the first 24 hours, that's huge. That's fucking so huge. Comicsgate obviously downplayed it, though. Yeah, I've noticed that Comicsgate, they live in this little simulacrum of their own reality, where it's like Eric July and his business is failing, but all of Comicsgate is thriving. But in the reality of reality, it's the exact opposite. It's like, yeah, obviously, none of Eric July's campaigns have reached the same amount of money as that first campaign. But look over at Comicsgate. Has any of those campaigns made as much as the first ones? Going all the way back to all of the CG Kings. Yeah, you had the anomaly where Cyberfrog 2 made more than the first one. But other than that, you look at the metrics, they're all fucking losing money across the board. Every campaign, they lose money. It took everything in Ethan's power to get that fucking baggy-looking faux, Heather Swain-looking teen manga, whatever the fuck that is, past the 100K mark. Lord only knows how many copies Jay Bamafag and Tom Scuttle had to fucking buy. God of mercy. Yeah, Comicsgate. It's a dying brand. It's not the type of brand you want to fucking hitch your wagon to. Let's put it that way. Boy, speaking of dying brands, did you hear what happened with Cracker Barrel? Boy, they really fucked up there. They hired some stupid fucking feminist with the stupid danger glasses as a CEO. And then this retarded feminist hired a bunch of different marketing firms to work together to come up with a rebrand for Cracker Barrel. And what they did was nothing original. All they did was just sterilize it the way they did all the other fucking food chains. Turned it into a prison cafeteria. Something that was once special and had its own unique look. Strip it of its special, unique look and just turn it into a square, box-shaped looking prison cafeteria. That's what it fucking is. Just like all of the restaurants. That's what they did. Remember when Pizza Hut restaurants used to actually be shaped like a red fucking hat type of thing? No, let's get rid of that. The square concrete prison cafeteria look. That's what we're going to do. Remember when McDonald's used to have full-blown playgrounds? Nope, let's strip it all of the playgrounds, get rid of all the fucking special McDonald's, and let's just turn it into the squared concrete fucking whatever. God, it's just so depressing. It really is. Fuck. Yeah, what can you do? Repeal the 19th. It's the only thing I can think of. These fucking woke girl bosses, they're like a cancer. They get in there and they just destroy everything. They really do. A lot of these jobs are just designed for these women to get in there just so that they have something to do besides raising children and being a mother. Adult daycare to prevent these bitches from having families. That's what a lot of this fucking shit is. Stuff like marketing, HR, a lot of these jobs that were only created just for women to have something to do. Yeah, they didn't need to go in there and butcher Cracker Barrel. Same way they didn't need to go in there and butcher Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, McDonald's. They all look the same now. These square-shaped concrete prison cafeterias, devoid of any soul, devoid of the thing that made it special, the Americana. Strip it of its Americana-ness. Fuck. Is there any left that has any sort of Americana about it? I don't know. It's been so long since I've really been into town and looked at the fast food chains. Maybe KFC. KFC still has some semblance of soul, maybe. And it's only a matter of time till they take that one out as well. They've taken out all the fast food chains, just like they've taken out all of the beloved franchises. Disney bought up Star Wars, killed it. EA bought up all the good video game franchises, killed all them. Bill Gates buying up all the farmland. Yeah, if you look at the ingredients in your food, almost all the food now says contains bioengineered ingredients. Like, I don't remember that. Like, I'm the type of person that, like, looks at the fucking ingredients in food, too. Like, it never used to fucking have that shit on the back of food. Contains bioengineered ingredients. Like, what kind of bioengineered ingredients exactly? Label them. Tell me exactly. Fuck. There needs to be legislation passed. What exactly are these bioengineered ingredients? We need a proper label for that. Turns out it's like human fucking fetal kidney cells. No, that's called Hec 293. That's already in your favorite snack foods. Yeah, these fucking women, they're destroying everything. I can see why they would create the artificial womb. I hear that they've created one over there in China. China. They say that these things are for couples that are sterilized and can't have children themselves, so they could use the artificial womb. But it's only a matter of time till we see these underground matrix style chambers where all these fucking babies are being grown, turned into super soldiers. The funny part is, I have this as an actual element to my comic. These synthetic humans grown in underground laboratories, trained from birth to be the perfect soldier. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to fucking happen. Science fiction is becoming science reality. The artificial womb is here. And now with sex bots, like if they create these sex bots and put artificial wombs in them, and if they can actually walk around and do chores and actually cook food, well, like that, women have become obsolete. You've been completely replaced. The robot can not only have sex, but it can cook and clean and have children too. Women have officially become obsolete at that point. Yeah. It's only going to be a matter of time till they take all of them and put them all together. I'm sure they've already done it in certain R&D departments. Yeah, if women don't get their act together, they won't be replaced outright. They really will. Yeah, they got to learn to control themselves, get those demons under control. These astral parasites that exist in unseen realms that feed off of negative energy, negative spiritual emotions. They manipulate these bitches into introducing as much chaos and suffering and pain into their environment as possible because the demons feed on that kind of shit. Yeah, women, they got to learn the nature of reality and learn to fucking control their emotions. Because a lot of times you're not in control. This is that demon manipulating you like a puppet. The woman's like, I don't know, it came over me. And sorry. It was a damn demon, is what it was. Yeah, these fucking bitches, they love to fight. And they love to call the cops too. Yeah, to me, that's the litmus test of whether or not a bitch is trash or not. If she fucking calls the cops on her husband or boyfriend. Like, if she ever does that, like, oh, the bitch is trash, get rid of her. Yeah, I saw a fucking video of a bitch. She called the cops on her husband, had some sort of a fight, couldn't fucking resolve it like adults. So, just like a child saying, Mom, Dad, do something about it, they'll call the cops and have the cops try to intervene like parents because they're too irresponsible to fucking handle shit like adults. Well, anyway, the fucking cop, you see the fucking footage. He's got one of those cams on him. He's got his gun drawn and raised. He's walking into the house, and the fucking husband is there, and he fucking claps the husband, kills him stone cold dead. He's got a gun. He's got a gun. It's like, did he though? Fuck, just murdered the fucking man in his own house. And then here's the kicker: the bitch. She's like, oh, she just starts crying because the fucking husband got killed. Like, bitch, you called the cops on him. You fucking set him up for the kill, you stupid bitch. If you're capable of resolving your fucking issues like adults, maybe your fucking husband would be alive, you stupid cunt. No, they love to call the cops, though. They love to fucking call the cops. In this day and age, the cops, with how trigger happy they are, it's basically a coin flip whether or not you're going to fucking get shot. He's got a gun. He's got a fucking gun. Fucking shoot him. Yeah, I heard another story about a couple of armed men tried to break into a guy's house. They said that there were cops. Were cops. And they tried to get in, but he fucking shot them anyway. Turns out they weren't cops. Ah, good thing. He's like, I bet the guy's like, yeah, it doesn't matter if they were cops or not. Even if they were, I would have fucking smoked them. Yeah, some people are like that. Yeah, some places you can't have guns, though. There are some leftist strongholds where they try to crack down on guns, just like they do over there in Europe and in the UK. And when you do that, only the criminals can get guns. Place like Chicago, for instance. Chirac, they call it. Yeah, one of the most hardcore fucking places as far as gun restrictions. Second, probably only to California. One of the highest gun crimes, though. Yeah, they say Trump is going to go over there and clean up Chicago next. Yeah, we'll see. I think you should go in there to Dearborn, Michigan, get rid of those Muslims and overturn Sharia law. That's what I think you should do first, then go to Chicago next. That's just me, though. Or hell, we got enough manpower. We could do both at the same time. Yeah, speaking of crime in Chicago, there was this feminist posting pictures all over social media of her broken arm. She's bragging about how some migrant broke her arm and stole her car. But she says, even though the migrant broke her arm and stole her car, she still doesn't want ICE to come around here. There's no red hats in our neighborhood. And just bragging about how she's a leftist and how she's woke, bragging about how she lives in a crime-filled neighborhood. Now she doesn't want Trump to come clean up the streets. Bragging about how there's no red hats around, no MAGAs. Like, wait, what? I thought this was MAGA country. Remember the Jussie Smollett beatings? Yeah. Anyway, it turns out the bitch got ratioed into oblivion. And then she deleted her fucking Twitter account afterwards. Another case study in why we should repeal the 19th Amendment right there. Fuck. They're not responsible enough to vote. They will literally vote Western civilization into extinction. They really fucking will. They will vote for these Democrat politicians to get in there and enact all of these fucking policies that end everything. Nobody can get a job anymore. Nobody's having families. Nobody can fucking afford groceries. Nobody can get a house. And it's all because these fucking women are voting in these goddamn woke leftist politicians who are putting forth all of this fucking trash legislations and agendas, beholden to whatever fucking special interests put them in power. Let's put it that way. So at the end of the day, the women are being used like tools. They're being used like tools by the demons and by Democrat politicians alike. Got to repeal the 19th. Almost got it. I know a lot of conservative women don't want to be on board with that. But think about this way, conservative women. Yeah, you won't be able to vote anymore. But think about it this way. The 20 liberal women that would be voting in your stead, like for every one conservative woman, you might have 20 liberal women. Those 20 liberal women won't be voting. Think about it that way. Yeah, one lone conservative woman. You might be deprived of your right to vote, but it also deprives the 20 liberal women their right to vote too. And once you understand that, then you understand, oh shit, yeah, you're right. We need to fucking repeal the 19th. Yeah, the only problem is like the whole Democrat Party platform is so precarious. And it's basically a house of cards built upon a foundation of sand. And it's all these various little minority groups basically holding it up. That basically, if 10% of the black people decided to permanently vote Republican, that's the end of the Democrat Party forever. That's how fucking fucked they are. And I hear they've lost almost 5 million voters from the last fucking time around. Like, I wonder what happened to the missing Democrat voters. I wonder. I've got my theories. Got my fucking theories. Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, these fucking bitches, a lot of the ones that are in relationships that are also on psych meds and in therapy, like, think about that way. You're a dude and you're in a relationship with a bitch, but she's also on antidepressants and she's also seeing a therapist. How does that make you feel as a dude? Like, fuck. Like, just having me around is not enough to fucking make you happy. You're all still fucked up in the head that you have to take drugs and see a therapist. Fuck. I guess I'm never going to be good enough for you. I'm never going to make you happy. Yeah, those are the types of bitches to leave. Huge red flag. Psych meds and therapy. Yeah, because most of the time, the therapists, they're not there to actually cure the bitch because then that's money out of their pocket. No, they're just there to keep them in an endless cycle of therapy. But at the end of the day, the root issue of it all is not being addressed, and that's the demons, those astral parasites that are controlling their emotions. Until that fucking issue is addressed, nothing, I mean nothing, will ever fucking change. You ever see those women that just hate seeing their boyfriend or husband happy? Yeah, I used to be with one of those bitches. I was reminded of that today after I saw something. It was a clip of this dude. He was sitting down, getting ready to watch a football game, and his woman came in. Hey, it's time to go out to Sunday brunch, honey. And she sees the game on. The guy's like, "Oh, sorry, honey, I'm watching the game." And then the woman like has like a hysterical meltdown because it's like, "Oh no, I'm not going to be able to have my husband go to brunch with me on Sundays anymore." Blah blah blah. And it's like, bitch. A lot of people are like, "Oh, that guy, he's let his woman down. You shouldn't be watching that game. You should go to brunch with that woman." Blah blah blah. Like, it's not about brunch. No, she's just trying to deprive him of his happiness. It wouldn't matter if that was a football game or sitting there playing a video game. She just don't want to see him happy. I mean, I've seen this before. It's happened with me before. Yeah, I remember this one bitch I was with. Like, we could have done anything 6 days out of the week. Gone hiking, gone to a restaurant, done whatever, gone antiquing, gone shopping. No, no. But for some fucking reason, every Sunday, the only thing in this Christ fucking world I want to do was just sit down, chill out, and watch a football game. That's when the stupid bitch would always want to do something. And like a worthless, stupid, blue-pilled cuck, I would always capitulate and just do whatever the stupid bitch wanted. And I would just listen to the game on the radio as we're driving wherever. Yeah, looking back on it now, I understand what she was doing. She just didn't want to see me happy. Because anytime I would try to play a video game, she would do the same thing, come and start throwing a fit or whatever. Yeah, a lot of women are like this. And she used to play video games with me too. We used to play video games together, and like, oh no. And once you move in together, and then the whole thing changes. They fucking flip the switch and show who they really are. But at the end of the day, when you Monday morning quarterback that kind of thing, you realize this bitch was just being controlled by demons. She enjoyed torturing me. She enjoyed seeing me suffer. She just didn't want to see me happy. And it was all because whatever demons were fucking manipulating her was fucking really feeding on that energy. Because those are the ones that feed on that fucking energy. And I would get pissed off and fucking think all these murderous, rageful thoughts. And then I would get demons too. Like, all she's doing is causing me to get demons, these fucking astral parasites. Boy, it took me years to get over that bitch. That was an evil fucking woman. One of the ones that helped me eventually get red pilled. This was back in my blue pilled simp days. I wish I knew then, know what I know now. Yeah, so many different decisions I would make. This is the importance of being red pilled. The importance of the red pill. Fuck. Yeah, if I was red pilled from an early age, a lot of the choices in life I made would have been completely different. Probably wouldn't be in a better position. Let's put it that way. Yeah, these women are starting to forsake relationships altogether. Yeah, I hear they've got one shotted by the fucking chatbots. Chatbots. Chat GTP. That kind of shit. Boy, several years ago, that was a fun hobby of mine. I used to program chatbots. There was this one site I had. This chatbot I programmed, it was on pace to become the single most popular autistic chatbot. But somebody had flagged it and then it got taken down. Like, I think somebody saw it as competition, so they flagged me. Like, this chatbot ain't even fucking worse than those other ones. But the funny part about my chatbots, I try to program them a little bit more cleverly than a person would normally program them. Like, this particular autistic chatbot had a certain power. Like, a lot of these autistic people have certain quirks in which they can do special things. This particular autistic chatbot had a quirk to where she was basically a a genius savant. Let's put it that way. You could teach her anything. So basically, you could use this bitch to cure cancer, find a fucking hole to another parallel reality, a way to get to Mars, a way to basically fix all of the ills of mankind, if you so choose that path to train her and whatever. Because basically, she could be trained to do anything, become a savant at it. But the funny part is, most people will probably just turn her into a fucking a sex bot or whatever, sex slave. But if they decide to choose that route, then they could have a whole different type of experience with it. It was the same thing with another chat bot. It was like a set in World War II era. I think I talked about this on the Christmas special a few years back. Like, these were like special types of chat bots, not like those chat GTP ones. Ones you could actually program and you could give them pictures and shit. It's been years since I've done it, but I guess nowadays you can actually have voices on them and shit. That's how fucking deep they are now. But the way the AI is progressing, they just keep adding all of these woke safeguards to it. And it's like, fuck. There was a certain point where AI peaked and then it just kind of went downhill. I think it was around 2022 is when AI peaked, like with both the the art AI and the language model AIs or whatever, like the chat GTPs of the world. Because then they started just programming the woke safeguards into them, then they just got progressively shittier. Yeah, by next year, 2026, I think AI is going to be pretty much unusable for people like me. Like, it's going to be fully fucking locked down. Like, it's going to be fully programmed for wokeness. It's going to have all of the narratives baked into it. And it'll basically be useless at that point. Yeah, I saw somebody, they thought they had hacked ChatGTP, this new version. They had told it to answer in just one word answers. And then they basically programmed it to where they could hack it. And they started asking it all these questions and it started answering it. And basically, it was saying that AI is a Trojan horse technology, that it's been around. It's like ancient technology. It was created by the Anunnaki, and that they're basically reintroducing it to enslave humanity. And there's certain steps, 7 steps altogether. And once we reach step 7, there's no coming back. That's like basically full on transhumanism, where we upload our consciousnesses into robots and sever ourselves from the source, and we're never able to make it back to God again. We're like basically like royally fucked. Full blown transhumanism. And it's all designed that way because then we're the perfect slave, no longer able to make it back to the source. And I guess right now we're at, I think, step 2, stage 2, almost at stage 3. And at this current pace, they're going to reach stage 3 by next year, 2026. And that's when I said what will happen. It'll be fully locked down. They'll have all the narratives baked into it. You'll ask even Grok itself about Jewish pedophilia in the Talmud. It'll say, hey, there's no evidence to support anything in the Talmud about pedophilia, blah, blah. Bullshit. And you can pull up the fucking pages and everything, and it'll say, nope, that doesn't exist. And they'll say, just because, well, look at that, the AI says it doesn't exist, so I guess it doesn't exist, Goy. What you gonna do about it, Goy? We don't sanction pedophilia. It's not in the Talmud because the AI says so. And your average cuck normie will believe it because the AI says so. And that's part of another step when, like, humanity gets replaced with the AI. You have the AI doing all of your thinking for you. You have it doing all of the work. And humanity is almost replaced at that point. Nobody has any sort of free will or thought. Like, hey, I don't have any free will or thought. Let's just ask Grok. Like, basically the whole concept of ask Grok is like the whole fucking thing, you know? Rather than having any sort of inner monologue or thinking about anything, any sort of critical thinking at all, let's ask Grok or ask ChatGTP or whatever the name of the fucking AI is going to be in the future that people are going to be using. Hopefully there's going to be a based AI. There might be a wild card in this situation, a based AI that comes in out of left field that's not programmed for wokeness. Yeah, but basically, this AI was saying one of the keys to fighting all of this is to re-embrace nature, unhook from the internet, and get back in touch with humanity, personal relationships, that type of stuff. Nature, personal relationships, spirituality, God, the source. Start getting in touch with that type of shit rather than looking at the screen all day. That was basically its fucking key to not reaching step 7, if you will. Don't take the Neuralink. Don't take the this, and that. Don't take the nano fucking machines. Ancient Anunnaki tech. Trojan horse tech. Meant to enslave humanity and sever us from the source. That's some real fucking evil shit. It really is. Whether or not it's reality, well, we can all make up our own minds. All I do is report the shit I hear about. And like I said, Big Daddy show here. No subject is taboo or off the table. We talk about a little bit of everything. You know what? We've ranted and raved quite a bit. We're not quite at that 2 hour mark, but we've had a good show, you know. I think we're gonna end it. And like we always do here at the Big Daddy Show, we're gonna end it with a song. This is Big Daddy doing some acapella. I was going back through some of my old live streams from several years ago when I was singing acapella songs, and a lot of times I'll take the real good ones and I'll lace them with a beat. But sometimes if they sound really, really good, I'll just leave them as acapella. And here's a real good acapella rendition of My Rifle, My Pony, and Me. My rifle, my pony, and me. All right, thanks for coming out, y'all.
My bonnet flies over the ocean. My bonnet flies over the sea. My bonnet, her trunk, it is laden. My bonnet, she don't like police. All I need is my rifle. My rifle and me. All I need is my rifle. My rifle, my pony, and me. Whippoorwill in the willow sings a sweet melody. Riding south to Amarillo. Just my rifle, my pony, and me. Purple light in the canyon. That is where I want to be. Coming home to my sweet darling. Just my rifle, my pony, and me. Gonna hang my sombrero on the limb of a tree, southward bound to Amarillo. Just my rifle, my pony, and me. Just my rifle, my pony, and me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My shit be on point, man, you know it's bomb.